So for this job, as you can see, we have got to get waste into that dormer part, but as you can see, all the fancy bits here and the fancy bits at the top, which is a bit tricky. We've had a waste put in there, we're going to have to cut that off. It's going to be a tricky one, but we'll get it and it'll be beautiful. This is what my plan is of action is we're going right upstairs into the loft space. Can you see how high that is? It's at side of there in the loft space, right? So what we have to do is we have to get a 4-inch waste out. Now the floor level is on that brick there, so you don't want to be damaging the house, bringing your waste pipe and bringing it through that fancy pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in that bedroom. I'm going to come down in the corner and then see above that Roy, I'm going to bring a 4-inch pipe out there, and then where that drain pipe is, where the drain pipe is there, I'm going to come down at side of that, so all the brickwork is not touched. And then because we're 3 stories up, we're just going to put a cylinder in there, pressurised cylinder, just works off an immersion, bomb straight into here for this room here. Oof. This is the room. Lot of work. Now the floor is getting sealed, the walls have been sealed, where it's getting tiled, that's been skimmed because that's not getting tiled. Ceiling's been skimmed beautifully. Look at that. That was very tricky with the ceiling being twisted, but it's beautiful. That there is because we ain't got a tap. So what we're going to have to do is tile up to that point and leave that wall. Tile the rest of it. And then now we just need to let this dry. It'll be ready. It'll be ready very soon. And then we're going to stick his balls down. Bish bash bosh. Don't forget to like, share and follow. Coming along nicely. I've had a 4-inch waste put in as close to the wall. He's left it off enough so we can clip it. I think I'm going to have to get my grinder, cut that down, yeah, bish bash bosh, boom, boom, 4-inch waste. Simple as that, lads. Do you know what I mean? Up at side of that, into there, I'm going to tee this waste back into the top of 4-inch waste. I know it's not the norm, but it is what it is. And then our waste will be vented up through the gutter. You'll have to just make sure that it never blocks up. And bish bash bosh, we've got a 4-inch waste. Stud walls, I can't do any of that until the walls are in. So walls are going in, new stud in there, so we're in line. And then the only other thing in that wall is that's the underfloor heating's going to come down. I've got to get cable up. Stud there. You know that I already have done. New stud in there. Coming along. So when we're doing this and I'm putting this tray down, I'm back out of this because we have to lift it off floor so much. But as you can see there, I've got a packer and I've got another packer here as well. If I clean that out, I've got a packer there and I've got another packer here. So I've already had the train and I've got a packer in the centre. I've already had this train and I know where it's level. So all I'm doing is following, I've gone higher than my packer there. Then when I slick this tray down, give it a wiggle, I know it's completely full underneath. So there's no chance of it dipping or moving. And the last thing you want is it not to be level. This tray is going to be bang level, as you can see with the packers, you can't feel it. So I'd always do that. And on this occasion I've backboarded this. I don't backboard all of them, but this and I have backboarded. And we'll get it banged in. Bish bash bosh, don't forget to like, share and follow. So now what we've got, I did have a different tray, and I just had to go to Pure Adhesive and get one of these 1200 by 900 centre tray, because the other tray, that City Scent, were bent as a 9-bob note. So these are the best trays, Jackaboard or them. Never had a problem with them. So now what we have to do is just have to sort this floor out, cut a hole in the waste, and then we'll drop that tray in. A load of semi-rapid reinforced adhesive, because we're going to be able to pack this floor up for the level for that tray. Because if you don't put this tray in level, it's pointless putting it in. So we'll put it in level. All those walls are being sealed, so they're ready to go. So it's just a case. Can you see how raised up it is in that corner there? It's massive, man, massive. Let's crack on. There you go, the waste is done. It's perfect. Down there, always make sure you clip it up. Then I had a notch joist out there to make sure that we're running down, clipped up. 3 bosses in, shower, sink, bath. Just ain't got bath yet. Always make sure you clip up, and if you need battens on, just put a batten in to hold pipe up so it don't drop, because if pipe drops, it's no good. Look how tidy that is. It's like a job in town, isn't it, lads? And there we go, it's beautiful. Then my hole, once that goes in, it'll be perfect. Boom, straight through there. So then now what I'm doing is, I've got through there, tidy that, innit? See what I mean, 120-year-old that. Boom, straight down there, straight through there, straight through the wall there, straight on that T there. And that is what you call a job in town. For people who haven't seen the underside of the shower waste, this is what you want to be looking like. See how nice and tight that is? You don't want to cut a lot of the floor out. This is why you do not put this tray on the, cut the joist out and put it on the joist, because it don't work. Do you know what I mean? You want a stable floor to stand on, because that tray is only thin. You don't want it cracking, and that is what you call a job in town. You can see how far these walls are out. See how twisted that is? That's flat there. It's 50mm difference, so that wall twists like that. Everything twists in this house, but that's what you expect. See the Latin plaster ceilings? It's amazing how they used to work in them days, because they used to get everything looking good. That is when you had a true craftsman at a job. Look at that. Imagine Latin and plastering that. Bish bash bosh. Don't forget to like, share and follow. Right, so it's done now. So the tray's in, so it's good. It does have an extender for the tray, but if you're not lifting the floor up and the tile up for the slant, you got to think, because these trays are 900 by 1200, but the sloping, it's not very big. The tray's only 20mm thin. So if you're putting one of these on and you're bringing the level up to there, you are taking this level, so you have to make sure when you tile here, it's higher, and then it slopes down and it comes into it. Otherwise, it's going to struggle to run out. So it's all tanked, all sealed, perfect. Just got to put an hole in there for my waist, 4-inch, and that's it. And the job's done. Bish bash bosh, don't forget to like, share and follow. Right, so the floor is level, perfect, up to there and round there. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go like that with my multi-tool. I'm going to chamfer it down, and then we're going to tape all that up, and it's all sealed wet room, and it'll be job in town. I'm going to tape all that, tape all that, tape all that, so we've got a lot of taping. Right, so my boards are stuck down, my tray's stuck down and solid. Beautiful. What I've done is I've just primed it, put a niche in the shower. See that, lads? That is what you call cut to perfection, yeah? So what we're going to do now, we're going to put on the floor heating down, and then I'm going to self-level it to that tray. So we've got a bit of a lip here, but hardly no lip here. So I think it's going to work out when we level it properly with self-leveler. There will be a bit of a slope, but you can't do naught about it. within the top story of a 120-year-old house. And if you were to alter it, we'd have to alter the whole staircase in the bedrooms. So it is looking good. So the reason why we had to self-level that floor so much is because this is an old house. 1820, most probably built in 120-year-old, most probably built 140-year-old to actually make it build. And what they must have probably doing to get to close to end of building, thought, right, we'll put a third floor on it. So they put a third floor on it, and then they banged in whatever joist they had. Like that's a 4-inch, that's a 3-inch, that's a 2-inch, 1.5 inch. But not only are there different sizes that way, that there, that's a 6-inch, that's a 5 3/4, that's a 6.5 inch. That's 6-inch. That's 3/4. So there's roughly about an inch difference of the height of the joist. So normally you'd have a 7-inch joist or 8-inch joist. They'd all be 8-inch, so they'd all be flat and level. These, some are 5.5 inch, some are 6.5 inch, some are 6-inch. So when they've done them back in day, they weren't bothered about the floors being flat and level because it was never going to be a wet room. We've turned it into a wet room, and the only way to do this is to take all these joists out. You'd have to take the top floor off and redo it, or you joist next to each joist and make a different level. But you couldn't do that because these joists run through into next doors, into every bedroom and going onto the landing. So if you were to do this floor, you would have to do that bedroom, the landing and the stairs, because the stairs is on a slant like that as well. So it's a bit of a nightmare, but that's what self-level is. Reinforced, bish bash bosh, job done. Don't forget to like, share and follow. One thing you have to make sure when you're installing these, that it's bang level, but see, you want a solid base to screw it to, because see all these different components, they start bending, they will start leaking. So you want it on a solid board, so you can't, there's no flex on it. Make sure it's fixed in, use your 8 freeze, use your 8, boom, straight onto it, hot, cold, bish bash bosh, job done. And there we go, it's fully tiled.
It's not fully.
But not fully. And then people going on about the step bar going on about the step, but you can't have a wet room without one, especially up here. And that, I've got to confess, is looking beautiful. Just wants grouting.